hi to you officially
Hi there.
again. Thank you so much for waiting, and we're so happy to have you. You're in London, right?
I am in London, just outside of
Awesome.
London.
Awesome, amazing. So, how are you today? Before we start just having a chat, I just gave an introduction of yourself, of Can of Water, which I'm so excited to talk about. So, yeah, let us know, how are you?
Yeah, no, I'm very good, thank you. The UK is very sunny today, which if you've been to the UK,
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll know that it isn't always very sunny here, unlike Spain most of the time. So yeah, no, it's a nice day in London, and I'm feeling positive and great to obviously be here and excited to speak to you guys.
I'm glad. Well, in terms of weather, I lived in the UK, and everyone was telling me the weather is terrible, and I'm like, it shouldn't be that terrible. It was terrible, but
Terrible.
it's okay. You know what? The people makes it for it because they're really nice, so it's okay.
Good, good.
We're also happy to have you. So tell me a little bit about why do you started Can of Water, and just talk us through it so we can understand a little bit more.
For sure. So it's a very random story, but nevertheless, in 2014, myself and two best friends, Ariel and Perry, went on a trip to Thailand, and weren't expecting to see what we saw when it comes to plastic pollution. We didn't grow up around plastic pollution. Plastic pollution really wasn't on our agenda. If you had asked me at the age of 18 whether I would be, doing something to help the environment, I probably would have laughed, to be honest with you. I think that, I always would see people standing outside of Coca-Cola's head office screaming about the plastic situation, and I would sort of be like, yeah, that's not me.
Yeah.
So it was a very sort of funny, random concept that, yeah, came from a trip to Thailand, where we saw how bad the plastic problem was. We were shocked to see mountains of plastic pollution on a remote island that we traveled to. And no one was talking about plastic pollution. As I said, the only people that were talking about plastic pollution were, these environmentalists and people that have been speaking about it for many years, but no one was really listening.
Yeah.
And we just became completely and utterly obsessed with what can we do and how can we help this, and how can we change this really. And we all had full-time jobs, and were all very obsessed with our purpose. What's our purpose? And through a lot of research, saw that aluminium cans are actually the most recyclable material on the planet. So we decided to be the first people in the world to put water in a can.
Amazing. It's so incredible how travel around the world can just change your perspective in everything you've
Sure.
been thinking about and saying, you know what, maybe I can do something. And since you said maybe some of the people that we're talking about and the environment and everything else were so, let's say, intense that you could bring another side of the story, which I think is awesome. So tell me a
Sure.
little bit about your personal success story. What do you think is the biggest impact that has had in your life?
I think that I've always wanted to help people, and I've always wanted to do something that really sort of made a difference. For me, I never did anything like this before, so there was no sort of like lead up to it where I was preparing to, to sell water in cans. I think it just happened for
Yeah.
me. But I always say that I'm sure other people came up with canned water ideas before that just thought it was a stupid idea, so never ended up doing it.
Yeah.
I think for me and my two friends, uh, we saw purpose, and it felt as if it was like a calling for us to sort of to do this, and we were very passionate about it and really believed in it when no one didn't. So
Yeah.
from a personal side, I think that it was three best friends, and without the other two I couldn't have done it, and without me they couldn't have done it. And I think that that's what's so special about Can of Water is that it really took a leap of faith. And I always say that, like, pure authenticity and passion really drove Can of Water's success. But my past, I was just in events and marketing, and I'm a DJ as well. There was no sort of lead up to this. But I always say that 99% of people that would have been asked by their friend of, oh yeah, should we do a canned water company? Most people would just say no. But we really, really wanted to change the way people drank water.
Amazing. And I think it's so nice to hear that from you because when I started the event, I just said, just remember, you need to, this is the opportunity to be inspired, to be empowered, and to just, we have a lot of ideas that we may think this is not going to work. And then someone like you that have a success story confirms that. Your ideas are not dumb all the time. Some are.
Yeah.
I have a lot of them. But yeah, it's really nice to hear you. And I really like that you mentioned authenticity since it's one of the core values of Sonderland. And I think it's one of the biggest things that sometimes we forget, being unique and following your God, as Sarah just mentioned, which was one of our speakers. It's so important. So now I want to ask you something else. What do you do when things go wrong? Like how do you take that situation and how do you deal with it?
I think that when starting a business, especially something that's never been done before, the reality is that loads of things are going to go wrong. And I think the person I am today versus the person I am when we first started Can of Water is a completely different person. You know, I'm a lot better at troubleshooting now, and you know, if something goes wrong, to relax and to not get worried about it and to find a quick solution. I think that's something that every entrepreneur or someone that sort of starts a business has to be prepared for, because things go wrong all the time. You know, I try not to concentrate on the things that go wrong, because 90% of the time things go right. But, you know, every day something happens and you just have to, you know, you have to just be prepared for it. I'll give you an example. When we had our busiest ever year in, I think it was 2018, the story of Can of Water, you know, wasn't all, you know, great. We had a lot of people that didn't believe in cans of water. We had a lot of people that thought it was a really, really silly idea. A lot of people putting the phone down on us. And it took probably 3.5 years before people actually started to see that plastic pollution is really, really dangerous and really bad and can affect us enormously. So people started to, you know, pick up the phone to us.
Right.
And within 6 months, we went from selling no cans to really, really, really growing overnight. So we had to make sure that everything was perfect. And we had, in 2018, we had a really, really hot summer. And we had a lot of cans that needed to go out to some amazing places. And, you know, we went from selling thousands of cans to hundreds of thousands of cans to millions of cans. And in the summer of 2018, we had a really big order come to the UK. And we sent out some of the stock because a lot of the stock needed to go out to, like, you know, thousands of people. And we got a call from one of our big sort of places that we sell at, who basically said that our still water tasted weird. So I drove very quickly to our warehouse, and unfortunately there was hundreds of thousands of cans of still cans that were filled with sparkling water and couldn't go out. And you know, that for a brand like ours, who is in its growth period, who's trying to really build relationships with our new customers,
Yeah.
that can be detrimental to the business, and overnight can really, like, you know, you can lose everything. So how do you deal with that and not worry? And, you know, you just go into this mode of, I have to get this sorted, and I can't let this be about me. I have to just deal with it. Yeah. And I think that all of these types of scenarios have enormously made me and the team much better operators, and every brand will go through something like this.
Amazing. Resilience, just being there and just go for it. When things go wrong, you still have to face it, right? So amazing. So just to finish, Josh, we are here in Madrid with a lot of young people, entrepreneurs. We're excited to explore ways and just do amazing things. And we also are being broadcasted by the whole world, and a lot of people from different countries are looking at you and listening to you. So do you have any word of advice, anything you can tell us here that it can help us just pursue whatever we want to pursue?
It's very cliche, but obviously the main one is like, you know, just do it.
Yeah.
Very very Nike. But I think one of the main things that I've learned is don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. If you're passionate and you truly believe in it, and you've done the sort of the market research, and you know, even if it's family and friends, and you can see that, you know, what you're doing is has got legs, or you know, can work, don't let anyone tell you that you can't. You know, we had so many people in the early days, and I'm talking massive, you know, founders from some of the biggest brands in the world tell us that it would never work. And yeah, I really believe that if you're passionate about it and you believe that you can do it, you just need to just take the leap. I see a lot of people who have ideas very scared to take the leap, and I think that we took the leap, and it was a
Yeah.
massive risk. And we've got a really exciting business that is inspiring people like Coca-Cola and Pepsi to become a lot more sustainable. And we were just three people that have never been in the drinks industry before, have never grown a business before, and were told by plenty of people that, you know, we had no experience. And we're now, you know, sold worldwide and growing every single day, and it's really exciting.
Amazing. Inspiring is an understatement. We're so happy to have you, Josh. Thank you for sharing all your
You,
experiences and everything. We will for sure check out a can of water more. And yeah, thank you again for connecting. Yes, amazing.
take care. It's
Thank
been
you
a
so much.
pleasure.
It
See you
was a
later.
pleasure. See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.